feel about your situation right now at wide receiver?
I think all the guys are doing a really good job. Feel good with where they're at.
Are there enough guys?
Yeah.
What have you seen from Kadarius the last few weeks of, what you've been able to, when you've been able to get him on the field, I guess?
He's done everything we've asked. He's practiced hard when he was practicing. It's unfortunate, but he's one of those guys that does everything we ask. He's working his tail off in the training room and in the meeting rooms. He does a great job with that.
Mike, you obviously see how dynamic he can be. How much have you been able to see that explosiveness? I mean, he's kind of been on and off the field so sporadically.
Yeah, you see it when it's out there. You see it on the practice field.
When you have a quarterback who's been running as much as Daniel and maybe won't be 100%, how much does that affect game planning?
We certainly account for it and make sure that we put him in the right spots. But he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job practicing, seeing him run around.
The reason I ask, Mike, is because it's a very wide receiver dominant league right now, as you know, and you guys went. I think you had 3 catches from your wide receiver. Is that sustainable? Is my question. You guys are so different week to week. Yeah. Is that sustainable, or are teams eventually going to adjust to they're not going down the field with these wide receivers? Let's put 10 in the box against Saquon.
Yeah, I think you hit it on a week to week basis, being flexible, and I think the staff has done a good job of making sure that we have enough stuff in the game plan to be able to kind of go with how the flow of the game is kind of rolling. And have that flexibility to make adjustments on the sideline and take advantage of some looks. So you gotta have enough stuff in the game plan and make sure you go through it and put their guys in the right spot. But that's things that we do on every week.
Mike, what have you seen from Daniel this week and just how he's looking? I mean, we saw him yesterday. He was moving pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it on the field. He's running around and doing everything that we're asking him to do from a practice standpoint.
I think you guys are running play action at the highest rate in the league, and Daniel's numbers in play action are much better. What is it about that has been successful for you guys?
Yeah, it gives you the kind of the ability to influence like second level defenders a little bit. Those guys are stepping up on the run game. Obviously, creates a little bit bigger of a window on the second level, and then gives you a little bit more space on the perimeter as well. So those are definitely good aspects of any offense. Our offense, obviously, we've done a few more of those, but you have flexibility to have that drop back. It all ties in really from the run game, the pass game, the drop back game, your quick game, screens, play actions. All those things got to tie in together. You can't just be so far on one side or so far on the other. You got to have the ability to kind of do multiple things, and that way you keep the defense kind of on their toes a little bit.
How are you handling the whole quarterback situation this week? Because you have a lot of uncertainty, not just Daniel, but also Tyrod.
Yeah, I think in the building we have a plan, and so that's what we're going with. And so I'll let Davis talk about that if he wants to talk about those specific plans. But we have a plan. And that's how we're rolling with our game planning and how we want to handle this week.
When you say you have a plan, does that mean it's specific for one person, or you're saying we have a general plan? And then we'll sort of.
I think you have to have both. You want to make sure that we have options for whatever may happen.
How comfortable are you with Davis if if he starts, or if Daniel starts, he's one play away? Davis has obviously been in the offense a long time, but he's 5 years without actually playing in an NFL regular season game.
Yeah, Davis has done a great job, even throughout the spring, training camp, preseason. I mean, you saw him play out there, and I have a ton of confidence in him. I have a ton of confidence in the whole quarterback room. They do a great job. They're all pros. They treat a game week the right way. They prep the right way. They react with their teammates. They're great leaders and great teammates, and they do all that as you would expect at a high level.
What's it been like for you? Because you obviously kind of to learn parts of this offense, and Davis is sort of like a master of it. So when you come into that room, just what was he even like, especially maybe back to the spring?
Yeah, it's been great to lean on him because he certainly has a bunch of experience in it and how it's evolved over the years. So I mean, he's been a great resource, and obviously when I was first learning it, to be able to kind of talk to him about, hey, so how'd you look at this? How'd you guys see this? And Shay's been a great resource as well. So in that room, it's kind of surrounded, between Dave, Shay, Davis. Those guys had a really good head start on everybody, and got everyone caught up really fast. That was huge.
Coach.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Coach, Daniel seems to be making a lot of good decisions on his run pass options. Can you talk
Yeah, those were we had some effectiveness on that last week, and getting those guys on the perimeter. And it's simple for the quarterback, right? Either running it or throwing it, and he made good decisions on those.
Mike,
Take a couple more.
how about using Saquon as a pass catcher? He's had that in his football history.
Oh, absolutely. You have to, I think we have stuff like that for him on a week-to-week basis. Those are things that, we evaluate when we're trying to get him out in space or use him in the run game. So those are things we have every week. We have them up every week, and depending on what the defense is doing, those are things we might get to.
How much of what you do as a play caller is like string looks together, so you show them one thing and then you have another variation off it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the art of play calling is, tying in your looks based on what you might anticipate a defense showing or defense doing, and then having answers to what they may or may not present, so that you have stuff to counter what they do. We spend a lot of time thinking about it and trying to set that up, and then being able to adjust in game. Sometimes we might not have it on the call sheet, but we talk about it on the sideline, get everyone on the same page, and then go and run it and execute it.
But take on for a second. Do you mind using him that much? I mean, I know obviously he's been your best offensive player so far, but he's been on the field for a really high percentage of snaps, 88% of your snaps, touching the ball a lot. Do you look at that as there needs to be a limit on that, or you just look at it and say, hey, whatever we need here, whatever it takes?
Yeah, I think just however the game's going, wherever we can find an advantage on offense, that's who should touch the ball, whether it's a receiver, a running back, a tight end, a quarterback. You want to try and take advantage as much as you can what the defense is presenting, and not so much try and force to one particular person or player or group. So you just got to have flexibility, I think. And I know it's probably not the answer you're looking for, but I think that's what we look for as an offense, as a staff, is to take advantage of the looks that we're getting on defense and try to make it for advantage for us.